It is here in the Lake Floria area of the Faron Woods that you will meet up with the Water Race of Skyward Sword, and these creatures are known as parellas. Parellas, there's basically, yeah, just that, the Water Race of Skyward Sword. And for the most part, in the Legend of Zelda series, they've usually had the Zora race as the creatures that inhabit the water areas. And Zora, they actually, in terms of just the order of the game's release, there was the enemy Zoras or enemy Zolas from the original Legend of Zelda and some of the early games. But we're really starting in A Link to the Past, I'd say, and even Link's Awakening, there started to be river Zoras or enemy Zoras that sort of communicated with you to show that they're not all bad. And then in Ocarina of Time, we had the complete Water Zora race altogether, and they were completely friendly. In some of the later games, well, first of all, in Majora's Mask and in Twilight Princess, the Zoras were good guys, pretty much. There's no problems with them. And in the Wind Waker, the Zoras didn't exactly exist in their initial state, but they sort of had an evolution and they evolved into a completely different race. The only game that had both enemy Zoras and regular Zoras is Oracle of Ages, and they talk pretty explicitly about the relationship between the evil Zoras and the good Zoras. Anyway, for whatever reason, Skyward Sword decided not to include Zoras, which is kind of unfortunate since I kind of liked Zoras, but the Parellas, they're okay. And this particular one, if you talk to her, and you can just ask her a few questions, and then the Parella eventually gives an answer, or I shouldn't say an answer, but like a statement. It's a secret to everybody, and we heard this earlier from the Kikwi as well. And this is pretty much an ode to the original Legend of Zelda, and it has actually appeared in several Zelda games since. Just this quote, "It's a secret to everybody." In the original Legend of Zelda, there was a lot of secret rupee locations, secret, basically, caverns in the overworld that you could use bombs to find these secret caves or burn down bushes, and then inside you would find what looks like a moblin, an enemy moblin, but in fact they were actually good guys, and they gave you rupees. And sometimes they gave you 10 rupees, 30 rupees, or 100 rupees, and they didn't really explain what it was going on, but they said it's a secret to everybody. I guess it sort of signified that not all of the moblins were corrupt and evil in the original Legend of Zelda, and some of them had a good side to them. I guess that's what it's trying to say. Anyway, this area, there's all these Furlocks here. Unlike in the Lanayru mining facility, these are water-based Furlocks. However, they function very similarly. You can perform this water dash attack by shaking the Nintendo the nunchuck actually, and it'll send them flying straight ahead. And you want to break all of the surrounding boulders, as there's a lot of rupees for you to collect, and this is the direct path that you eventually need to go through. The Parella sort of sneaks through the gate here. What you'll need to do is perform one of those water dash attacks, but do it while you are coming up from underwater, while you are about to leave the water, and Link will sort of just dash on up, and he'll sort of fly on upwards, and he'll be able to leap over the gate. You similarly have to perform a similar water dash to get onto the land here, and you'll actually find a bird statue, so go ahead and save at the Lake Floria save point. But before progressing further on in the water portion of this area, you want to sort of backtrack or just turn around really, and make your way to the back area of this land section of the lake, and you will find a goddess cube. So just run on over, and it's really not much to it. Just hold your sword up in the air and deliver a Skyward Strike to activate the Goddess Cube. So this is now the 4th Goddess Cube we've activated in this chapter alone. And previously we had activated 2 other Goddess Cubes in the Faron region. In general, there are 9 Goddess Cube locations in each of the 3 major regions, giving a total of 27 Goddess Cubes throughout your entire quest. Some of them, even in the Faron region, even though this is our 2nd time through the area, there's 2 of them in particular we're still not able to get at all. In fact, we got 3 of them before, and now we just activated 4, so we should have activated 7 of them. I was off a little bit, but there's 2 more in the Faron region that we haven't activated yet, and we're going to need another item later on in the quest. Anyway, jump back in the water, and we want to continue following the Parella through the water area, and there's another one of those gates that you're going to have to perform a water dash attack to sort of jump on over. And once you arrive on the other side here, you will come across a new water creature known as a craniac, I guess is what it's called. And these giant fish-like enemies, or craniacs, or whatever they're called, they've got these massive brains of sorts, and all you really need to do is charge right into them, perform a water dash attack to stun them, and then follow it up with another water dash attack, and this will defeat the craniacs. After it has been defeated, just continue to follow the Parella, and there's a strange looking door of sorts found over here, and if you just swim on over to the door and talk to the Parella, or swim right by the Parella will actually use its body as a key of sorts. Kind of strange how that works. I guess they're sort of like, I don't know. I don't really know how to describe these enemies or these characters. I guess they're, in a way, they're sort of like jellyfish, but they're such odd creatures, just what they look like. I guess they fit the Zelda mold of the unpredictability of what characters and races look like. I mean, look at the new races we got in this game. We got the Kikwi, we got the Mogma, we got the ancient robots, and now we got the Parellas. All of them quite unique in their own sense. Anyway, continue along, and here we are at the Water Dragon's basin of sorts. This is the water, or not the basin, but this is her chamber, the Water Dragon's chamber. And we basically just want to swim onto the land here, and there's a large pot-like structure, and just go on over and speak to the Water Dragon. So 5 will give you the ability to douse for water, and you'll need an empty bottle for this next segment. You could just follow along with your dowsing mechanic, and you'll, eventually figure out where you need to go. However, I'll just give it away. Spoilers. If you're already watching this, I'm not sure you're concerned with spoilers. But if you do follow the dowsing, it will actually lead back all the way to the Skyview Temple. Yeah, that's right. We actually return to a previous dungeon within Skyward Sword. That's something that's not completely unique, but it is unique in terms of the main quest, at least to an extent. So it's pretty cool, pretty sweet, and that's going to be our next destination. There's a few ways we can go about reaching the Skyview Temple from here, but before doing that, within the Water Dragon's chamber, on each of the sides of the room, there's like these lengthy, like on the sides of the water, there's these platforms that Link can stand up on, and there's 2 treasure chests on both ends. So be sure to collect both of the treasure chests, and this one contains a treasure piece, and just be sure to collect those 2 goodies before leaving the Water Dragon's chamber. Afterwards, just head on through the passageway that's behind the Water Dragon, and this will lead to the Floria waterfall. And that's, I guess, obviously based on its name, it's a waterfall, and it's an extension of Lake Floria. There's a couple bugs of note in this area. There's some blessed butterflies just nearby, so as we learned from Gorko the Goron earlier, you can play the harp, and this will summon up a gossip stone, and the gossip stone you can talk to, and he gives you some words of wisdom, I suppose. There's also a bird statue here, so be sure to save if you'd like, and this is the, as I just said, the Floria waterfall save point. Furthermore, sometimes there's some Faron grasshoppers just hopping around this area. I think I was looking around for them since I was used to them appearing right here, but just like with some of the other bugs in this game, they don't always appear. It's not a like 100% type thing, but also in this area, I didn't know where this was initially, so I was just sort of looking around, but just above where the entrance to the Water Dragon's chamber is, there is a goddess cube, and this is one of the goddess cubes that we cannot get quite yet, but we'll be getting quite in the distance. If you head through this little corridor, you'll actually be back at the Faron Woods, in particular just near the entrance of the Faron Woods, from almost near the sealed grounds, or at least not far off. There's a log that's straight ahead that you can push down, and this creates a passageway, an easy way for you to navigate quickly between basically the sealed grounds to the Faron Woods to the Floria waterfall to Lake Floria. It's quite a useless passageway because you're going to be using the bird statues more times than not, as opposed to these like shortcuts. I guess it's just like those mine carts that we found in the Lanayru in the Lanayru desert that we pushed down. It just allows for easier accessibility. In particular, if you just want to explore and you just, wander around the area and you want to quickly make your way around. In that case, then these spots are useful. I personally think it's a little strange to add these shortcuts in when they don't have any practical use at all. But hey, it is what it is. So, as I was mentioning, the fastest way to get to the Skyview Temple is actually right when you leave the Water Dragon's chamber. You can just save at the bird statue, return to the sky, and then land at the Forest Temple location right outside the Skyview Temple. However, if you're playing the game for the first time and if you weren't following a walkthrough, you wouldn't immediately know that the Skyview Temple is your next destination. So you'd probably have to, go back through the Faron Woods, and you'd be using your dowsing just to find your way. Another thing, since I'm making my way sort of manually, in a way, I don't think that's the best word, but you can actually, it's a good idea to pick up some more, or if you haven't already, pick up one of these nests, basically, or the treasure. One thing I sort of messed up there, you could actually grab the hornet's nest or the beehive by using your beetle, and afterwards you want to collect the hornet larva, of course. But one thing you could do is actually grab the hornet's nest and take it over to the bokoblin, and just sort of drop it near the bokoblin. And it's kind of cool, since all the bees, they'll actually start attacking. They'll actually start attacking the bokoblin. He starts going like, leave me alone. And it's kind of humorous to watch. And I like those little things that Skyward Sword includes. It gives some humor, comedy to the overall tone of the game. So anyway, make your way on over to the Skyview Temple, and one thing you could do, those hornet larvas that I didn't get earlier, as I was at the bazaar and I realized I was kind of short at them, and I only have 2 of them right now. Granted, you don't really need too many hornet larvas. In fact, this is one of the least number of treasures you need amongst all the treasures. You only need 4 of them in the whole game to get all the upgrades, and I've already gotten some of them before. But if you haven't used any of the hornet larva upgrades yet, it's a good idea to grind away and get at least 4 of them. Considering there's 2 of them right here in the deep woods, all you really need to do is get these 2 and then return to the deep woods twice. So you might have already gotten 4. I've already gotten 4, so that's pretty much going to do it. So this is pretty much going to take us to the end of this particular video. Our next destination, as I mentioned, is inside the Skyview Temple. And as I sort of mentioned earlier on in this video, it's kind of unique being able to re-enter a dungeon for a practical use. Although I know some people have argued that it's sort of just like extra padding. Why the heck do we have to go back to a temple? Luckily for us, there are a few notable differences, but we are going to be tackling those in the next video. So just save at the bird statue right here if you'd like, and then afterwards just run on in and re-enter the Skyview Temple.